Welcome back to the deep dive. You can almost feel it in the air, can't you? That crispness,
Wow.
the sound of sleigh bells that always seems to start way too early.
Definitely.
And here in the studio, we are absolutely feeling that, that unmistakable pull of the holiday season.
Yeah.
So today, we're doing something a little different. We're swapping out the usual maps and charts for a phrase book.
A linguistic journey.
Exactly, a linguistic journey across the globe. We've got this brilliant stack of source material here, specifically a list from Mondly covering how to say Merry Christmas in, 21 core languages.
21, yeah. And it's our guide for today.
And our mission here isn't just about simple translation, is it? We want to do a kind of cultural decryption.
Right. We want to know what these words actually reveal about the history, the traditions, the whole local flavor of how people celebrate.
Or even how they don't celebrate. We're really looking for those high-value insights you can use to be genuinely well-informed.
And this source material is perfect for that because it gives you that instant snapshot. You go from something everyone knows, like the German Frohe Weihnachten, to something that's more of an adaptation, like the Japanese Merry Christmas. It's a shortcut, really, not just to the language, but to understanding what goodwill looks like across different borders.
Okay, let's unpack that word goodwill. I mean, we know that you, the learner, are all about gaining knowledge quickly. But why is learning just a simple holiday greeting? Why is that the ultimate cultural hack?
Because it signals, it signals cultural reciprocity.
Reciprocity, how so?
Think about it. When you send a message, maybe a short email or even just a tweet, and you use a phrase like Feliz Navidad to a friend in their native language, you're doing so much more than just being polite.
You're showing you made an effort.
A real effort. You're signaling that you respect their world, their customs, enough to step outside of your own linguistic comfort zone for a moment. It really changes the whole emotional dynamic.
Yeah, it's the difference between, like, a generic mass-produced card and a personal handwritten note, isn't it?
Precisely. These greetings carry so much tradition and connection. The effort shows you care about their experience of the season, which is so often tied to, childhood and family and heritage.
So if the whole point of the holidays is to strengthen those global ties, then learning how that goodwill is actually phrased, well, that's essential.
It is. It moves us past simple translation and into genuine cultural appreciation.
That's a great foundation. So now that we kind of established the why, let's get into the deep dive. Let's look at the phrases themselves.
Okay.
Our source material points to a few major themes.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one, this idea of the blurring of time. How many of these greetings look forward past Christmas itself?
Oh, a surprising number. And that brings us immediately to probably the most famous one, the Spanish greeting.
Feliz Navidad.
Exactly. Most people know it from the song, but the full traditional wish that our source material captures is so much broader. It's Feliz Navidad, Prospero Año y Felicidad.
Which means?
Merry Christmas, a prosperous year and happiness. So right there, the holiday is inherently linked to optimism for the whole next year.
It's not just about one day.
Not at all. And you see that echoed really strongly in other places, too. Take Iceland with their greeting Gleðileg Jól.
Which is Merry Yule.
Right. And the Icelandic celebration, Joel, is this long, extended affair. It actually starts before Christmas and doesn't wrap up until January 6th.
Wow, so that's 2 full weeks.
At least. It completely links Christmas, New Year's, and the start of January into one big festival. It really shifts the whole definition of what the holiday season even is.
It's interesting because the Latin root, Bilcem Natalem Christi, is so specific, right? It means joyful nativity of Christ. But it seems like so many cultures took that specific religious day and immediately layered on these broader, more secular wishes for the future.
Well, it shows how humans optimize celebration, doesn't it? If we're all going to get together, why not cover all the bases?
Good point. Okay, let's move to a second theme. Calendar differences and sensory celebration.
Okay, I like this one.
We're looking at traditions that are really deeply embedded in history and religion, and especially the contrast between the West and the Orthodox East.
And here, the German greeting, Frohe Weihnachten, is a great place to start. Weihnachten just means Christmas, but the source really emphasizes the powerful, almost sensory experience tied to it.
It's not just a word, it's a whole feeling.
Right.
I love the note that said, Weihnachten is described as incredibly tasty in Germany.
Yes. It just conjures up these images of mulled wine, gingerbread, the warmth of those famous Christmas markets.
So the greeting is almost like a salute to that shared communal feast.
Exactly, it's an immersion. Now, contrast that with Russia. The greeting there is Izolora or Счастливого Рождества.
Okay.
But the biggest insight here isn't the phrase itself, it's when you say it.
And when is that?
January 7th. And this is a massive cultural distinction. The Russian Orthodox Church held on to the older Julian calendar, so December 25th on their calendar is actually January 7th on the Gregorian calendar that most of the world uses.
That's fascinating. So the timing of the goodwill is dictated by centuries of theological and calendar history.
A subtle linguistic key that unlocks this major historical split.
And what about Romania? The greeting is Crăciun Fericit. The source painted a pretty intense picture there, too.
It did. Very similar to Germany, in a way. The source highlights the Christmas market in Sibiu, describing it as just breathtakingly beautiful.
It said it was like Santa scattered magic dust everywhere.
Which I love. These Eastern European examples really reinforce that the greeting is tied to an almost fairy tale-like immersive setting.
Okay, so now let's pivot hard for our third theme. Modern adaptation and globalization.
Right. This is where the holiday shifts from religious observance or calendar history to something entirely new.
Commerce, romance.
Exactly. And the two key examples from Asia are China and Japan.
Let's start with Japan. The greeting is Ani Sumasu, or Merry Christmas.
And what you notice immediately, just from the sound, is the linguistic structure. It's a direct transliteration of the English Merry Christmas.
It shows a direct import of a Western concept.
A direct import. And the context is crucial here. Japan is primarily Buddhist and Shinto, so Christmas isn't a traditional holiday at all. But it has exploded in popularity since World War II.
And what's it celebrated as?
It's become a romantic occasion for couples. It's a day for lovers, almost like Valentine's Day in the West, not a religious or family feast.
So the greeting Merry Christmas is basically shorthand for enjoying a Western-style date night.
Pretty much. And it's driven largely by global media and consumerism, completely bypassing the religious roots.
That fundamentally changes the meaning, doesn't it? From a family gathering about faith to a public celebration of secular romance.
And you see a similar, though slightly different trend in China with the Mandarin greeting, or Shengdanjikuai. Here, Christmas isn't typically celebrated religiously either. People mostly enjoy the commercial side of it, store discounts, social gatherings.
It's mostly a younger generation thing.
It seems to be, yeah. It's a trend that's gaining traction among young people who've been exposed to Western culture. It really shows how globalization often introduces the form of a holiday, the cheer, the sales, without the traditional content.
That is a perfect illustration. So we've seen three totally different ways of looking at this. Blending time, historical splits, and modern secular shifts.
And if we just quickly connect a few other dots from the source, the scope of the difference is just staggering. Look at Italy, for example. Buon Natale.
Their customs are very religious, right?
Extremely. It's all centered around precept and nativity scenes. You see them everywhere. That religious piety just dominates the whole celebration.
And what about the guy delivering the gifts? The Santa character seems to change his name and his customs constantly.
Oh, absolutely. In Portuguese, he's Pai Natal in Portugal. But in Brazil, he becomes Papai Noel, or the Bom Velhinho.
Good old man.
Yeah.
And the Brazilian tradition has kids leaving a sock near a window, hoping it'll be swapped for a present. It's a unique little twist on the whole chimney thing.
And we have to talk about the Finnish Santa.
We have to.
Yeah.
The fascinating and maybe slightly intimidating Joulupukki.
Which translates to, what was it?
Christmas goat.
The Christmas goat.
I know. The source notes that this name is a holdover from a much scarier, older Yule goat tradition. The good-natured modern Santa took over the gift-giving, but that memorable, slightly bizarre name just stuck.
It's like a little piece of linguistic archaeology.
It really is.
Okay, so after this whole linguistic safari, from Italy's sacred scenes to Tokyo's date nights and Finland's goat, what does this all tell us? What's the major takeaway here?
I think the major takeaway is that these greetings are proof that the holiday season is this incredibly dynamic cultural landscape. The interpretation is it's fluid.
Right.
It can mean deep piety, commercial success, romance, historical tradition. But because of that, it also highlights the critical need for inclusivity and respect. Why is that inclusivity point so crucial when we're talking about Merry Christmas specifically?
Well, because while Christmas is profoundly important to hundreds of millions of people, This variety shows us that for many others, it holds no religious meaning. And for some, it's not celebrated at all.
So you have to be mindful.
You have to be mindful of those diverse perspectives. Acknowledging that difference is how you genuinely share the spirit of goodwill. You can wish someone Merry Christmas, but you have to be considerate of their beliefs. That makes the goodwill authentic, not prescriptive.
That totally reframes the greeting. It becomes an offering of happiness that's tailored to the person, not just a universal assumption.
Right.
And sometimes, as we saw with the Dutch, these traditions just kind of happily stack on top of each other.
The Dutch are the perfect example of that. Children in the Netherlands get presents from Sinterklaas, who arrives from Spain on December 5th.
Okay.
But then the Kerstman, or Christmas man, arrives separately from Lapland on Christmas Eve and brings more presents.
So they get double the fun.
Exactly. It shows how traditions, even ones that seem a little contradictory, can just coexist beautifully.
That's a lovely image. Okay, let's make this actionable for you, the learner. We have covered a lot, from the Russian calendar to the Finnish goat. Let's try to put this knowledge to use.
Let's do it.
I want you to just pick one phrase that really resonated with you. Maybe it's a short and catchy Swedish or Norwegian greeting, which is just God Jule.
God Jule.
Or maybe you were fascinated by the Christmas goat and you want to try the Finnish one. Slow the words down. Practice saying them out loud a couple of times. Just get a feel for the rhythm.
That act of practicing is really important. It solidifies the knowledge. It prepares you to actually use it genuinely.
So this season, challenge yourself. Try to use one of the 21 greetings we've explored today.
A text, a postcard.
Yeah, send it in a text, write it on a postcard. You could even record a little voice memo for friends or family overseas. That tiny gesture of saying Merry Christmas in their language, it just demonstrates real cultural fluency. It shows you didn't just hear the trivia, you internalized the respect.
And that, I think, is the true power of a deep dive like this. Learning these phrases is a shortcut to bridging those cultural gaps and ensuring your goodwill is authentic and, well received globally.
A perfect sentiment to wrap up our journey. Thank you for diving deep with us into the language of the holiday season.
My pleasure.
As you think about which of these greetings you might use, consider this one final thought. We noted that the Spanish Feliz Navidad wishes happiness for the new year, and the Icelandic celebration goes way past New Year's Day. The entire season is linked to the end of one period and the optimistic start of another. So next time, let's explore the other side of that coin. How different cultures say goodbye to the old year and usher in the new one in all their different languages. Something for you to explore until then.